Welcome back to New England Living. Up next, we're back in the test kitchen with a simple recipe for a sophisticated dish. Tommy Pontolilo is a corporate chef of the Koji Restaurant Group, where he oversees the food experience at some of Boston's hottest restaurants. With an appreciation for local seasonal ingredients, Chef Tommy is known for integrating bold new flavors from around the world to create an over-the-top experience for his guests. We're here at the Clarke Sub-Zero and Wolf showroom, and I am joined by Chef Tommy Pontolilo of Coquette. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
So you're making us cauliflower, and first and foremost, this is kind of a newer vegetable, so can you tell us what cauliflower is?
Caulilini is actually a young cauliflower. It's characterized with a full cauliflower flavor with a nice, light, tender stem.
How are you preparing it for us today?
I am actually going to roast it, serve it with Vaudevilles spices, tahini creme, crispy chickpeas, and currants.
It sounds really good. Let's get into it.
I already have some cauliflower right here. It's already been blanched. It is ready to go. We're going to add some olive oil and a good amount of salt.
Why do you like using cauliflower on your menu?
We always want to be on the forefront with new ideas, things that people haven't seen before. I think it's really flavorful. I think it's a great menu addition. And it's nice to cook with a seasonal vegetable. It's one of my favorite things as a chef.
Broccolini is really having a moment. Cauliflower has been having a moment for a really long time, it seems like. How is this a little different?
Because it's younger, this is nice and delicate. You can eat the whole thing, floret down to the stem. Very nice and light. At
Koji Management Group, you have a number of different concepts throughout Boston, Coquette being one of them, Lolita, Marielle, the list goes on. You're really transforming the Boston dining scene.
We want to give an over-the-top experience, something that you're going to remember and crave, and a reason to want to come to our restaurants day in and day out.
At Coquette, one of your goals is demystifying French cuisine, so how are you going about that?
We really wanted to transition our idea of French food, and what we've really tried to do is introduce all the influences that have since come into Paris and the surrounding areas. We use a lot of flavors from Northern Africa, a little Indian, Tunisian. One of our dishes is focused on Nice, which is very close to Italy, so we have all these influences that have since been brought into France that I really want to showcase, that it's not the same traditional food that you might have grown up with.
Now, what's the goal here to make sure you're cooking this just right?
We want to get some nice char to get it a little crispy, to really bring out the nuttiness that the cauliflower really has to offer. All right, so now these are ready to come off the grill. We are just going to layer this into the bowl. Notice we have some real nice char in there. That's really going to bring out some real fun flavor.
As far as your plating tips, how do we make these vegetables look as delicious as possible?
I like to stay simple. One of my keynotes is that I want the last bite to be as good as the first bite. We've always believed in shareable food, something that you want to share with a loved one. So to make sure that you have equal amounts of sauce on your last bite is very important to me as the first bite that you take.
And talking about the sauce, what's going to go on this?
To start with, I have a Vaudevilles vinaigrette. It is a French curry, very lemony and acidic with lots of garlic and shallots. I'm going to drizzle this over the top.
The more sauce, the better, right?
More sauce, the better, absolutely. Next, we're gonna drizzle tahini creme fraiche. And again, just really coat all over. You should see a little bit of sauce at the bottom. That's gonna really make sure that it's great. We're gonna sprinkle a little bit of Aleppo over the top. I have some crispy chickpeas. This is gonna add a really nice crunch. Next, we have some currants. It's gonna add a little bit of sweetness. And I just like to add some whole leaves of cilantro at the end to keep it nice and light and vibrant.
That is a beautiful and colorful looking dish. Thank you very much. So let's grab my fork. This is actually my first bite ever of cauliflower, and I think I'm doing it right.
I think you got the right one. This is a light dish, something that's full of flavor, but it's not super heavy, which is something that you might find traditional with French food. So
this is incredibly flavorful.
This take.
If all of my vegetables can taste like this, I'd be a lot healthier. And we're pairing this with a Pinot Gris from Etude. It's a small handcrafted wine with a focus on sustainable farming. How does this pair with the cauliflower?
I really like this because this is nice and light, vibrant, starts very lemony, and kind of finishes with a nice honey mouthfeel.
Sounds amazing, and who knew vegetables could be so fun, right? Cheers.
Cheers.
Coming up after the break, we'll check out a newly renovated home with a modern aesthetic when New England Living returns after this.